Yo guys, what is going on? It is Invin here and welcome back to my channel. Today, what I'm going to be bringing to you guys is my review and my experience with server mergers. What I would like to see going forward in terms of the mergers now that they've happened. What I kind of encountered, things you should watch out for, that type of thing. So that when your server mergers do come along, you're a little bit in the know for it. And if you have had server mergers already and you know, you're kind of on the same boat as me, your server's just merged across or it has been for a couple of weeks. These are some things that are going to be towards the end of the video that I think we should start to see from server mergers, so it'd be really interesting to see your guys' feedback as well in the comments below, so do let me know what you think. As a side note, the gameplay you are going to see is going to be a war from the previous server, so we were on Hydrus, we've now been merged into Vega on EU Central, and yeah, this is going to be one of the final wars we did on Hydrus there as a little throwback, and it was a very cool war, and thought it would make for nice gameplay in this video. So, what I want to talk about first then is any experiences I had with the merger. Personally for us, it took a little bit longer than they'd planned, but other than that, it was actually pretty smooth. We managed to get off the server, it kicked us out around the right time, or I was off beforehand, so it just kicked everybody out when it was ready, and then as soon as it was back up, we could all join, log in, and kind of got onto the servers. Now, it did do this at about 1:30 AM, and that's for me in the UK, and I'm an hour behind the central time of the server, which is Central European time, so you know, a lot of people will have been asleep, but there was no server queues today either, or last night. There hasn't been any since I've logged on, which is perfect, because that is one thing I was worried about when this was first announced. There is a few things, you know, kind of a little bit janky. Some furniture and some trophies seem to not be applying. I know they have mentioned this on the forums, but it is worth just reapplying those in your house if you have just merged, or if you're going to be merging, just take them out beforehand and reapply them when you go over, because it just reminds you to do it. Other than that, there kind of hasn't really been too many massive bugs, which is a really, really good thing. No sort of changes. The only thing I would say is the titles were a little bit janky when I first went over, but after I'd logged out and then logged back in the next day, they were fine again. So again, we all know the titles in New World can be funny from time to time as it is, so overall that's not too much of a bad thing. One thing I did really enjoy is the massive influx in players. We've managed to get at least 2 or 3 Outpost Rush games going at the same time, which on EU servers was a massive deal, because most servers were not even able to get one going, and if you could get one going, it would be the same people over and over again. Now you've got about 60 to 100 people doing this at all times, which is meaning you're getting 2, maybe even 3 games consecutively up and running, which is massive. And of course, obviously now with the new gypsum system, which this is affected by, this is a brilliant change. Now, obviously this with EU Central kind of is a little bit different to some other regions, but generally across the board, one thing I would really like to see is, of course, language chats, particularly on Europe. So, for example, myself, obviously I speak English, and a lot of the guys do from around Europe, but there is also a lot of people that speak things like Spanish, French, German, Russian, all these different languages from around different places in Europe. Now, of course, they've all been mashed together onto one server, and we've kind of got a 50-50 split on the server I'm on now, which is half English-speaking, half Russian-speaking, which is not a problem. You know, we both try and communicate, try and be friendly as normal. I just think it would be nice if we could have a separate chat so that each players could choose the chat that they wanted to see. And of course, you know, particularly for EU, this is probably a problem across the board. If you've got a particularly large French-speaking guild and you're an English-speaking player, or a large English-speaking guild and you're a German player, for example, then you are going to really struggle kind of to compete with global chat to people, and it does make a difference. So I personally think that would be something that's really, really important. Now, obviously, I'd like to see the address changes to the housing, so how they've obviously messed up the trophies a little bit. They don't seem to work fully until you've logged out, logged in, and all this carry on. So your best bet is to just replace those. That obviously would be really, really good. The money compensation, so you did get 50,000 for coming over when we did have a territory. Now, we had Everfall on the other server. We came straight onto this one, and everybody ran influence missions. And currently, there is a bug where even if you didn't get 10%, you can still declare. So, a lot of people have been doing that across the server, and pretty much random people have just been gathering every different type of war, and it's kind of gone a bit chaos, which is expected at a server merge. And even if there wasn't a bug there, I think that would still be absolutely fine. But you know, there is a lot of people kind of declaring and stuff, so obviously that's a bit of chaos. Kind of like it though. I quite like that. I don't think that should be fixed. I think that's how it should be. I just think that they should absolutely bring in the faction change. So essentially what was said was that we would have a free faction change when you moved over servers. Myself, I already had mine up, so we've done a faction change, but a few of my guys that switched to join us before on the previous server now can't get across to join us again, which is really annoying because it was said once the servers reset, you would have that alongside it. So fingers crossed in the future we do see that, and I mean near future, the next couple of days ideally, because it's going to really wind up a lot of people. A lot of groups like ourselves have, you know, transferred with the intention of swapping to a different faction in order to kind of see which is the most competition, which is the least represented, least territory, so that we can try and build that up and have a bit of a fight and a chance to get a territory, and also a chance to have a war on defense and attack. And now, yeah, it's left half our members behind. So that's a really, really big one from me, and I'm sure a lot of other people will be in the same boat. I also think that when you go over to the new servers, they should have done a market wipe. Now, this is maybe a controversial point. Some people won't maybe agree, but I just think they should have taken everything off the market and said all sell orders have to go down for the wipe, so that when it goes down for the 2 hours where they were merging all the servers into one, when it went back up, nothing would have been on the market. And I think that would have been excellent because, you know, particularly when we went into this server, a lot of the prices were a lot higher and some of the prices were a lot lower, and this will have been different on each individual server, and the guys that already played on Vega will have their slots that they were used to, and now it's all gone a big mashup. So what I think would have been better, complete wipe, people can start from a point wherever they choose to, and people can build up or down from that, depending on how it goes, and I think that would have made a lot more sense. Let me know what you guys think about that one down in the comments, but for me, that is something that I think I would really have liked to have seen. Now, on top of that, what I was really happy about was, of course, like I said, no real lag issues, no massive issues with joining Outpost Rush or joining companies or anything like that. It kept all of my friends list intact. For me, my trophies were working absolutely fine, so it's not across the board. It seems to be okay for me. Also, it's kept all of my storage the same, all of my sell orders, etc. all absolutely fine, which is amazing, and very, very GG's to New World for that, because, again, it's a pretty difficult thing to transfer servers. But, yeah, I think there is going to be a bigger one to go. There is rumours that, of course, they've said on the forums, ideally, they want to have all of the EU players and all of the EU servers merged into one big EU server, or a couple of big ones, and I would assume that's going to be the same in each of the different regions. So language-based chats would be amazing, so that you could filter off. You could be a general in English, a general in Russian, a general in French, whatever the case may be, or you could just select different language filters so that it automatically translates. At least maybe that would be something as well. I think potentially looking at a market freeze or a market wipe, or a kind of like, let's just get everything off and restart it when everybody joins together, would be really, really crucial as well. I think that's going to be a massive point in terms of what I think, and I would also really like to see the opportunity for territory wipes going forward. So if there was to be another merger, I would like to see all territories go, and it'll all be, no one could buy them, so just bear that in mind. It's not going back to the start. No one could buy them, but two companies from opposing factions could declare war on the same time, on the same territory, and that would be they war to see who gets it. You know, if you declare war as the purples, for example, you'd have to wait for yellows or greens to push influence, or it would automatically assign one of them within 24 hours, and then you could put forward a team. They could then randomly declare. Whoever wants to declare for it can declare, and then you can fight against those people, and you can see who goes to what. And I think that would be maybe a cooler idea than just getting 50k and saying, right, try and go into a server where it's all already potentially all one colour. It was fun. It is going to be good chaos fun, and I do like that aspect of it, but I think full territory wipe, battle versus battle would be really, really cool. And of course, going forward, I would love to see leaderboards so we can see which servers are the best in each region, which companies are the best in each region, which companies are the best globally, players best globally, etc. And I think that would just add a nice thing on top of it, so that the next time, if there is more server mergers, you can kind of gauge the competition, you can kind of gauge what's going on, who's got the best players. Even if it's maybe Syndicate only has 300 active compared to Covenant that has 1200, but Syndicate are owning 60% of territories, you know they're pretty good. And if you want to be the underdogs, you'll file in there with green and just get in the middle. So that sort of information would be cool to know and cool to have, and I think it is something I have heard rumours about potentially coming in the future, so we'll have to wait and see, but that would be amazing. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. Let me know what your thoughts and feelings are on server merges, whether you've had them or whether you've got them upcoming, what you've seen of them so far, and do you like them? Do you like the way they're doing? What would you like to see changed? Let me know that down below in the comments, guys. Other than that, if you've enjoyed, please do leave me a like on today's video, as it really does help support me and my content here on YouTube. And if you are new to the channel and you want to see more New World content, then please do drop a subscribe down below by pressing the big red subscribe button with the notification bells on, as I do upload every single day, and I would love to have you guys here as part of my channel community. Other than that, as always, guys, thank you very much for your time, thank you for watching, and I will catch you tomorrow with another upload. Take care and peace.